This is what we call the squeeze. All right, this is what we call the middle class squeeze. This right here is the part that you probably already understand this, but now I'm giving you the background as to why it's happening. The middle class squeeze happens when the cost of living that you have to pay, because this is the cost of living, this is what you got to pay to be alive. Gas, food, clothing, shelter, taking care of your kids, paying your bills, et cetera, those costs keep going up, but the amount of money that you're making from your job is not going up as fast. Maybe you got a raise, but your raise is not, so it used to be like this, or it used to be like this. Back in the days, let's say my grandparents, they could have an average job that anybody could go get today with no preset skills, and they can make this much money, and their living costs were this much. So that means they always had a little bit of cushion, right, to take care of things. Then it got to the point that, again, they might have got a little bit of a raise, and the cost went here. So the cushion was still there, but it was a smaller cushion. Then it got to the point here where a lot of people are living like this, where this is what we call paycheck to paycheck. All right, this is what's called paycheck to paycheck, meaning the cost for you to live and the amount of money that you make are about equal. So that means every time you get paid, every single dollar in that paycheck has to go to your living expenses. That's right here. And then if it gets to the point where the costs are higher than how much you're making, this is the point where you're underwater. Underwater is it costs more to live than what you actually have. This is when people start taking out loans, taking out second mortgages on your houses. This is when people start using credit cards to pay off their lifestyle, and you just start racking up credit card debt, and it's hard to get out of it because you're not making enough money to do so. This is when people start drowning right here. And this is what's happening to the middle class. This has always been happening to the middle class, by the way. But now people are starting to feel it a whole lot more. Why aren't people feeling it a whole lot more? Because the government has gone deeper in debt, and no presidential administration, Democrat nor Republican, has solved this problem. And I'm going to let you know in on a secret right now. None of them is going to solve this problem. I'm going to tell you how you solve the problem as I get further into this conversation. This is not a government save me issue. I want all y'all to understand that. Actually, it is if you go the wrong direction. I'm going to tell you what your options are as I go further in this conversation. But one of the biggest issues for the middle class right now is that many of you, your living costs, and I saw a bunch of you in the comments say this, your living costs are increasing faster than your income is increasing, and this is an issue. This is a huge issue because if it keeps happening, eventually you're going to be completely underwater and you're going to drown. And everybody knows what that means, right? That's a big problem that you don't want to have. So this is one aspect in which I understand, even though I do not agree, understand the difference.